one that will be interesting will be the battle in the North Central.
Yes.
It has been narrowed, of course, with the withdrawal of FCTFA chairman Musa Tale. However, Ahmed Yusuf, fresh. Because it brings freshness to Nigerian football, and Honorable Suleiman Yahya Kwande, ranking members of the board, they will have to contend with Alhaji Busari Ishola, the chairman of the Kwara State FA. So what we need to do is by tomorrow we'll let you really see these guys, because these are the persons that will be responsible for football administration in Nigeria. We don't have any control of the elections. But what we'll preach is transparency.
Yes.
Let the thing be open so that we don't have any issues.
And hopefully there won't be any sort of outside interference. I know what I'm talking about. Outside interference, I do not want to open my mouth too loud, too much. Outside interference and we hope that the election goes well without any sort of issues. I mean, it's all about Nigerian football. The interest of Nigerian football, whatever the individual interests, I mean, it should be about the interest of Nigerian football and how to grow Nigerian football. There's no point in taking Nigerian football backwards.
That's right. And that's what we are asking you on our social media platforms. We're saying, what are the ways we can develop football in Nigeria? So at the end of the day, if it's Amaju Pinnick, if it's Aminu Megari, if it's Taiwo Bunjobi, or Chinedu Okoye will say, take. The people say this is what we should do for our football to get better. So talk to us on Twitter, channels _sports, Facebook, channels sports, football administration in Nigeria. Let's continue with football administration, but this time let's go to Arsenal. Cosmos, Ivan Gazidis. With the things happening in Arsenal, is it for good? You see them taking Arsenal to the level we used to know them to be?
I think Arsenal is going through a phase where they are trying to get through the post-Wenger time. I mean, Wenger was the first to leave. Then, of course, the majority shareholder, second majority shareholder, the Russian, had to sell his own stake as well. So it now makes it that Mr. Kroenke is the owner of Arsenal, and of course other board members as well. And even Gazidis had to leave after years of astute, business management of Arsenal. This is not just administration. This is about business. This is about the fact that the revenues made for the club and all that. But then you would have expected him to go to a bigger club when it comes to business, when it comes to big money. But he's actually going to a lesser club, maybe bigger in terms of...
Why are you calling AC Milan a lesser club?
I'm trying to explain. Lesser club, maybe bigger in terms of football pedigree, but with the kind of management issues they are having, yes, they are pretty much less. So, I mean, I think Arsenal is bigger financially. I mean, you have to look at the fact that...
where all of this is coming from.
I know, not because I'm an Arsenal fan. Because you know what happened? I mean, the Chinese took over, but they couldn't continue. They took over from Berlusconi, Steve Berlusconi. They couldn't continue because they had some debt. And, of course, a consulting company came and took over. And they're bringing even Gazidis to actually stable things down. And that is what is happening in AC Milan.
Okay.
And they are not the owners of the San Siro.
Gazidis' exit comes a month after American billionaire Stan Kroenke took full control of Arsenal by buying our Russian rival Alisher Usmanov, valuing the Premier League club at around $2.3 billion. Now that's about 832.1 billion naira. It's almost reaching trillion region. Mr. Gazidis, who will now join AC Milan, will leave the London club with effect from October the 31st. So that's the story. Let's go to the UEFA Champions League now, give you updates. What's going on with the UEFA Champions League? It's now Liverpool 2, Paris Saint-Germain 2.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. I mean, the way Paris Saint-Germain were actually playing, trying as much as possible to get the goals. I knew it was going to happen, end-to-end stuff between the two sides. But then you have always known the bane of Liverpool. Defensively, they're still very deficient, despite the fact that Van Dijk is actually there to stable things. So for me, I knew this was going to happen. It's going to be 2-2. But it's still early days,
Well, it's football. Anything can happen, and it's the UEFA Champions League. So let's see if Liverpool will give the Red Army some reasons to smile back home tonight. But as it is, it's Liverpool 2, Paris Saint-Germain 2. So they will actually hold on to that. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this final break. When we come back, more on the UEFA Champions League and, of course, what you are talking about. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We're taking a look at the UEFA Champions League, but don't forget also have our eyes on the Nigeria Football Federation elections. We've just told you the guys that are gunning for different positions into the executive committee of the NFF. The elections will take place in Katsina State on Thursday. That should really get us talking. And I'm seeing your messages on our social media platforms. Keep them coming on Twitter, channels_sports, Facebook channels, Sports. It's football administration in Nigeria. It's big business. And so we want to monitor it now. And I've said, let's tell them ways we can develop football in the country so that when the next president comes in, we'll tell the president, look, this is what we want. It's our football, and then hopefully they're going to follow our way. Our customers, we're talking about at the UEFA Champions League. It was Liverpool 2, leading 2-1 until Kylian Mbappe did his magic and then drew PSG level right there at Anfield. So let's just run through some of the results that have been concluded. Club Brugge and Borussia Dortmund, goalless down is still live. Atletico Madrid doing a good job away from home against Monaco. Are you surprised?
Well, of course, it's Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid have pedigree when it comes to the UEFA Champions League. I knew somehow they were going to able to make it fine. They are doing very slowly at the La Liga, but in the UEFA Champions League, they know that every point counts, and getting an away point and 3 points in the bag away from home is actually a very good one for them.
And Borussia Dortmund did the same thing also. Pulisic in the 85th minute got that goal. And they've defeated Club Brugge by a single goal. That's a good way to start the UEFA Champions League.
I mean, the American dream boy is really doing it as well. Of course, we talked about Inter Milan against Tottenham Hotspur earlier on 2-1. Napoli got a much-needed away point against the rest of Belgrade. And of course, wow. What do you know? It's 3-2.
That's right.
Against PSG.
We said it.
3-2 against PSG.
At Anfield with UEFA Champions League and Liverpool, you never can say anything.
Never say that.
And it's the guy that is on red-hot form, Firmino, that did the magic for Liverpool.
Last season I felt that Firmino was the unsung hero. As far as I'm concerned, Salah scoring goal, Sadio Mane scoring goal actually started from Firmino because of the good things he was doing in that place.
Fantastic work rate, worry any defense.
And he actually showed that as well at the World Cup too. I mean, the UEFA Champions League has got us talking so much. Lots of good games, goals that match day one would actually make very interesting as well. Of course, Galatasaray won Lokomotiv Moscow by 3-0. Hopefully, our boy Huekura they beat in this one. And of course, as I said, in Germany, it ended 1-1.
That's right. So let's run through fixtures for the UEFA Champions League. It will continue tomorrow. So much action. We cannot ignore Ajax to take on AEK Athens. Benfica will play Bayern Munich. That's a Champions League match that you cannot just come out and say, this is going to win.
Exactly.
Shakhtar Donetsk will play Hoffenheim right there in the UEFA Champions League. Manchester City will play Olympic Lyon. Real Madrid going against Eslam Victoria Place and taking on
CSK Moscow.
Cosmos, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And of course to you, wherever you are in the world watching Sports Tonight on Channels TV, keep that conversation going on football administration in Nigeria, Twitter, channels_sports, Facebook, channels Sports. That's the show for the team. I'm Austin Okonakman. Sports is so much fun. So in everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.